So, I won't mention this gentleman's name, but I did talk about an experience that I had with him prior. And he is, huge in terms of real estate, podcasting, and things of that nature, and gives out a lot of information. And I listened to him do a talk where he actually admitted that I was right when I wrote in on him, and we had a little tiff. And the tiff is that he was talking about how the market has kind of crashed, and how things are horrible. And I agree, things are horrible in that. But then he went and took a stab at realtors that were doing traditional stats and saying, yes, things have really come down. The market is really diving, but it's still above last year. And he considered us like optimists and we're trying to mislead the public and stuff like that. Kind of hurt my feelings, even though he didn't know who the heck I was. So I wrote in and we had a little tiff back and forth, but he admitted it on another show by accident, saying, you know what, he said, you know what, we're still going to end up above last year. Like this year in history, after we get through all the drama that we're going through, and after we've figured out if Tiff Macklem is a lizard or he's actually a human, once we figure all that stuff out, then we will have passed all the drama, and we'll be looking at the historical stats.
When you say above last year, what do you mean by that in terms of the numbers?
The average price for last year was $1,085,000. That was the average price for 2021.
So for the whole year, we put it all together, like from January to December.
Right.
Add it all up.
Right.
The average was that. Okay.
Right, and that's how we do it from the beginning of time. So what's going to happen is that this year, the average price for the year is going to end up higher than the average price for last year, even though we've gone through a declining marketplace since March until basically 3 months ago, it kind of started flatlining. And then we've had more pressure come on pricing, so it's going to decline some more.
So pretty much what you're saying is, so generally in the market, well, in all markets usually, prices go up, prices come down. And so basically it's a up and down kind of system that we have. Where last year, it was mainly up the whole year. And
this year?
Yeah, so we started off low, ended high, so the average was whatever it was.
Ridiculously high, almost 1.1.
And then this year, we still started on with the high pressure.
Only for 2 months.
For 2 months, but it shot up really high, right? And then it came down pretty much gradually until now. So overall, yes, as you're saying, our year over year from 2021 2022, we've gone up. So
we've gone up. So it'll be 2023 that's going to be a real devastating year for people who think that what we just went through is devastating. Well, I'm gonna bring you the news. It is going to get worse. It has to get worse. And the reason why it has to get worse is because the Bank of Canada is still talking the rhetoric that they've been talking since they started this, how their eye is only on inflation. To me personally, I don't believe they've done anything to fight inflation. I honestly believe, and they believe they've done well. They believe they brought it down from 8%, 8 point whatever, 1 or 2 to 6.2. Oh, is that right? Yeah, to 6.2. And so that's what they believe they've done. I don't believe they've done that. I believe that was kind of teetering itself. And forget about it. I don't even believe in this number because most of us are feeling more like a 20 or a 30% inflation. When we go to the grocery store and you come out with just a couple of things for an event and it's still $70, $80. It's like, that's insane. It used to be that, well, it was a while ago, but $70, $80.
$80 right now is like maybe 2 bags of
just a couple of things. So we're really feeling this, and you guys are saying, oh, it's 6.9% inflation for October. The problem is that you're trying to bankrupt. The Bank of Canada's philosophy is to bankrupt us or make money really, really hard to get. And then that way we don't have money to spend. And therefore, the stores start having too much inventory and they have to reduce it, kind of thing, for people to buy it. That, honestly, I understand that in theory. I just really think it's highly insensitive because the whole problem stemmed from you wanting more money to be spent in the economy. And then you overshot that. You took inflation from 0.5% up to 5%. Boom, just like that, putting lots of money into the system. So you overshot your target, and then it kept climbing from there. After 5%, then the Russian war came, so that's why the problem kept going up, is because of the Russian war. But from it going from 0.5% or 1% to 5%, that wasn't the Russian war. That's just a problem. It's the main problem is Russia, but we got to 5% without Russia, from 1% to 5%. Actually, it all started around 0.5% to 5%, and then the Russia war started. So what caused that? The pre-Russia war? So no, what caused it is the overspending. That's what caused it. That's the problem we're feeling. And then not only did we overspend, but then we gave away a bunch of money to the banks because we needed them to pull this little maneuver out. And so then you did this quantitative easing, which we didn't really know what it was. And now we're all researching it. I've got like 8 articles on it. I really should probably just choose one, you're thinking, but I've got like 8 on it. And when did it start and where did it start? It started in Japan and they were successful with it, so it moved on. But it really is just transferring debt into money to the banks, then own it, and the Bank of Canada is basically just relaying it. So you imagine the 4x4 relay, you go and you give the baton to the next person. So that's what they're doing. The Canadian government's giving the debt to the banks, and the banks are then giving it to the Bank of Canada. And we pay for each one of those transactions. And now we've bankrupted the Bank of Canada. We've officially bankrupted. And for those yous out there that may say that we didn't, well, you tell me what business out there can run at a $500 million loss every quarter for the next how many years? You tell me what company can do that. $522 million every single quarter, and it'll probably be higher next quarter. And so what business can run like that? Any other business would be out of business. But because of the Bank of Canada, when they lose money, we just have to pay more in taxes, and therefore it's paid for. So they can lose money if they want to. And really, it's just too bad. It's just part of Canada. And it's just really, really sad to know that quantitative easing has caused this problem because the government wanted to do this, or the Bank of Canada wanted to do this really cool little maneuver that other central banks were doing. And the central bank can't lose because even when they lose, they don't lose. So it's really, really, really a shame.
When they lose, we lose.
Yeah, when they lose, we lose, but they're still fine. They keep their job and everything. And honestly, it hurts me to listen to some of the things that he says. It's just so insensitive. When he says, I know there will be some pain.
But sorry, I was talking back to last week when we were talking about, I guess, Macklin with the giving away the money or the bonuses to the people that work with them. Why? So I remember last week we had a bit of a difference of opinion, but My thing with them is, why are they even getting bonuses if they've just caused a whole bunch of like?
They got the bonus before the crap hit the fan,
okay.
right? But we had a difference of opinion, but it wasn't really, like, I understood where you guys are coming from. I just think that's a really nasty way to think. I think that, you know, you telling Canadians who are feeling pain of inflation that you created, that they should not be getting a raise to try to be able to feed their families, while you just gave out 180 million in bonuses. And no matter how you say anything, that alone, never mind the fact that you say, oh no, that won't affect inflation, but anyways, it's just all wrong. It's wrong on so many different levels that the one level that you're protecting him on means nothing to me, because you know, for just the fact that you caused the problem, and now, you know, especially when I hear this phrase that he's so sensitive, and they're also so, we understand that this is going to cause pain. Like, you know what? Forget that. We should abolish that phrase from them, because that's their little soft phrase. In other words, we are going to bankrupt people. There are going to be people who can't afford to eat. There are going to be people who are going to lose their houses. And this is what, we understand there's going to be pain.
They're just apologizing in advance.
It really, honestly, if the deeper you go into this thing, the more cynical you become, and it hurts. It really does hurt, because I believe that most people are good-natured. And I believe that, okay, they made a mistake. They don't want to admit it. I understand that. But now you're creating policies and you're doing things, which is like the way you're supposed to do it, because you've caused this problem. Now you got to fix it. But then all the people that are going to get hurt because of it. And we don't have a solution for that. But let the banks go under. And then what will they do? They'll print more money and give it to the banks. But for the people who are going under, they won't do nothing. Sorry, we understand it's causing pain. We're not going to do nothing for you, but if the banks go under, that's it. Let's pull out our checkbooks and write the biggest checks we can and go back a year later and say, okay, where's that money? And none of them know where it went. We don't know. We don't know where that money went, but you know, we're good. Don't worry about it. We're good. We're good. You go on your way. It's frustrating. So, and then I guess maybe part of this whole cynicalness is the fact that you know, the people who we love, home sellers and home buyers, are all feeling pain. Home sellers are losing, you know, 20, 30%. At least they feel that this is being lost. And the people who have just bought, and that they've definitely underwater on their homes. Even if you put down 200,000, your home went down 250 or 300,000. So you've gone underwater because of these new economic pressures, or the policies that are being put in place. So sellers are losing their money. That doesn't feel good to us. And then buyers have to pay more money even for these cheaper homes, and that doesn't feel good either. So for me to be cynical, I guess, during this time, kind of makes sense. I'd have to be insensitive to not be cynical, I think, at this time, because, you know, we vote more for the people than we do the politics of it. But the politics is really strong. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. And please let us know your thoughts in the comments, as well as any questions you may have. We're live most Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to tune in. If you're interested in learning more about real estate, click the link in the description to sign up, and we'll send you a series of educational videos all about real estate. Thank you again for watching, and remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so you can stay up to date on all our future uploads.